currency deposits, we must respect and implement the law unless and until we amend it. This action of the Senate, of the majority, does not at all give the Supreme Court jurisdiction over the Senate sitting as an impeachment court. We are simply following the law which this institution created. The law clearly states that only when the depositor allows the opening of the account can it be opened. The respondent, through counsel, already committed to submit his FCDO account to the impeachment court last week, to the media, and in the court today. Kung hindi po natin susundin ang batas na ginawa natin, papaano po natin sasabihin sa iba na sundin ang ating mga batas kung ang Senado na mismo ang lumalabag po nito? Sa puntong ito, hindi po masusupil ang katotohanan dahil sinabi ng Defense Counsel na bubuksan nila ng kusa ang dollar account. And we take their commitment. Pinili ko pong sundin ang ating batas. At ang pagsunod po sa ating batas, hopefully, ang magiging daan sa ating katotohanan. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Floor Leader.
Senator Manny Villar, Mr. President.
The gentleman from Las Piñas, former Senate President of this chamber, has the floor. Senator
Maraming salamat po, mahal na Pangulo. Marami po tayong pinag-uusapan sa larangan ng batas. Subalit ako po talaga ay nasa kaisipan na hindi naman natin dapat baliwalayin ang ating ekonomiya dahil ang ating po mahihirap ay talaga pong tuloy-tuloy ang nangyayaring paghihirap. Tumataas po presyo ng mga bilihin, dumadami ang mga walang trabaho. Kaya kahit pa paano hindi natin pwede yung hindi sulyapan. Ano ba ang FCDU o yung foreign currency deposit? Yan po ay $31 billion na po ngayon yan o 1.3 trillion pesos. Yan po ay pagkaya pinapangalagaan ng Bangko Sentral ay para naman maging stable po ang ating ekonomiya at hindi po basta-basta natin dapat isugal yan, wika nga. Kung magkakaroon po ng problema ang FCDU, magkakabankran po yan, napakalaki pong tama sa ating ekonomiya. Marami po sa atin dito mayayaman, hindi po maapekto. Subalit yung milyong-milyong mahihirap na naman po na wala namang kinalaman dito sa ating pinag-uusapan na diretsyo, yun na naman po ang tatamaan. Kailangan po ba naman? Matanong ko po na kailangan po ba naman na talagang labagin natin yung batas dyan? Sa akin palagay, hindi naman kasi kailangan Maliwanag naman po na sinabi nga po ng ating defense na ilalabas naman. Sinabi naman po na hindi naman natin kailangan banggain ng Supreme Court. Pangalawa po, ako'y natatakot din. Baka po wala tayong takbuhan. Yung pong sa ating hangarin, sa hangarin po ng iba, na ma-impeach ang ating Chief Justice, ay marami pong institusyon ang nawawasak na po. Baka pati Supreme Court masama na dyan. Natatakot po ako doon sa mga maliliit na balang araw o malalaki na balang araw ay maaagrabyado. Saan sila po tatakbo? Kung ang Supreme Court po ay nawala na ng karangalan at nabastos na. Kaya ako po naniniwala na hanggat maaari, kung kaya naman natin gawing patas itong trial na ito nang hindi natin babastusin ang ating Supreme Court, bakit naman hindi po natin gawin? Ako naman po, naniniwala sa aking sarili. Kaya ko mag-desisyon dito. Hindi lamang naman ang tanging basihan yung FCDU account. Napakaraming basihan para kung i-impeach natin o quit si Chief Justice Corona. Hindi lamang po ito. Mahaba pa po ang trial. Papakinggan pa po natin ng depensa. Ang akin lamang hong nahangarin, isipin din po natin yung milyong-milyong mga kababayan natin, lalo maghihirap din pag ang FCDU po ay nagkabankran at yung pong karapatan naman, baka balang araw po, wala na tayo matakbuhan kung tayo po ay naagrabyado o na wawala ng justisya.
Majority Floor Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, may we now proceed with the trial proper.
Before
the last
that,
time. Yes.
the Chair would like to announce that he has prepared a written explanation of his vote, and he would like to submit this to the Clerk of Court and make it a part of the record for the scrutiny of anybody interested, the whole public who is interested to read the position of the Chair on this issue.
Thank you. Mr. President,
Thank you.
in the last trial date, it was the turn of the defense to cross-examine the witness of the prosecution then. So, Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago wishes to be recognized at the start of this trial proper, Mr. President.
The gentlelady from Iloilo has the floor.
Thank you. Mr. President, these are questions for the lead prosecutor. Counsel, do you still recognize me?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry I cannot give you full time to explain your answers at length, but you see we are under time constraints. I only have 2 minutes. Question 1. One of the cardinal rules in trial technique is do not ask a question if you do not know what the answer is. You have been raising many questions on bank deposits with bank officials. You would now be ready to answer this question, excluding foreign currency because of the Supreme Court actuations. Here, what is your estimate in Philippine pesos of the total bank deposits of the defendant? Remember, you should know the answers to the questions you've been raising.
Yes.
Magkano?
Well, so far for 2010, we discovered 31 million.
31 million.
Your Honor,
All
for
right.
2007, we discovered around 5 or 7 million. But on 2007, the cash that was declared in the SALN is only 2.7. In 2010, Your Honor, we discovered 31 million in cash, but the cash declared in SALN was only 3.5 million.
So let's make that our working estimate. The prosecution's estimate, which is not, of course, binding, is about 31 million pesos in the bank deposits of the defendant. Now, I ask you personally, what is your proposed benchmark for a total peso amount deposited in a bank or banks that would constitute evidence of betrayal of public trust? Ano sa tingin mo? Kung total na, suma total na, huwag lang yung dolyar dahil may Supreme Court ruling tayo doon. Sa pesos, ano sa tingin mo ang dapat na minimum na sabihin mo may betrayal of public trust, public official man o hindi? Mga ano kaya?
Ang tingin, Your Honor, ang tingin ko dito pag sobra sa dineclare niya doon sa SALN niya, kasi dinedeclare niya naman 3.5, pag sobra doon, ay that would already constitute betrayal of public trust.
Sobra, by how much? Halimbawa, a few pesos, natural, you can excuse that, but by how much? So in other
Like,
words,
for example,
give me a benchmark.
yes.
Give me a benchmark figure.
Ngayon
Just
po,
pluck
yung
it out of the air.
napakita namin na 31 million,
31
Your Honor,
million.
that would
Could be a
already a
benchmark.
clear case of betrayal of public
Betrayal
trust.
of public trust. All right. There is a saying, those who come to court must come to court with clean hands. Hindi ba dapat, lahat tayo dito, na participants ng Kongreso sa impeachment court, ay dapat suriin natin ang mga konsensya natin, mga budi natin. Meron ba tayong 35 million lahat-lahat? Pati itong mga tagapakinig sa gallery, meron ba kayong mga 35 million sa bangko? Ay may betrayal of public trust pala kayo. Kung ganon yun. Ma'am, ang punto ko dyan ay ganito. Hindi mo masabi kung magkanong benchmark mo for betrayal of public trust in quantifiable amounts. Because it will depend how old is the person, how many children did he have to send to school and support, what is his record of accomplishments in his profession, is his wife working, etc., etc.
Your Honor, Your Honor, please.
No?
If I may be
Question
allowed
two.
to
This
explain.
is my 2 minutes, you see.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
will also stop me after a while. Under the Anti-Money Laundering Act, the Anti-Money Laundering Council may investigate any deposit in a bank upon order of a court and establish that there is probable cause of an unlawful activity. That is the provision of law. Now my question to you is, has this council made such an investigation into the bank deposits of the defendant? Answer, yes or no?
No.
That you know of?
This council, no.
No, not you. I mean, do you know if the Anti-Money Laundering Council has asked a court to examine the bank deposits of defendant? Because if it did not, then there is no probable cause. It seems very, very much like that.
We are not aware of that, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, answer this question. What is evidence on motion? Evidence on motion. Define. I will supply the answer. Evidence in motion is evidence that is not given inside the court. It is given outside the court. There are two lawyers there from each of the panels. There's a clerk of court from this court and a stenographer, and you ask exactly the same questions that you would ask in court, except that you don't take the time of the court by doing it in the courtroom but outside the courtroom. That is also called a deposition. Kaya, ang punto ko dito ay, ba't hindi ka mag-evidence on motion para matapos na ito? Question number 3. Under the doctrine of judicial president, kung mayroong kaso ang Korte Suprema, yung kaso na yan, pwedeng gagawing, how do you say, a compulsory. If there is one case decided by the Supreme Court, all other cases in a certain category must be decided in the same way as that case. That is called the doctrine of judicial president. Question, what is the determining criterion for the applicability of judicial president? That's very easy to answer.
Well, the issues and the parties should be the same.
That's right. Correct. A president is a judicial decision which contains inside itself a principle. Ang problema natin dito ay na you cite a case only for its ratio decidendi and not for its obiter dictum. What is the ratio decidendi of a case?
That's the meat of the case.
Applicable to all
Yes, that's the meat of the case as compared to obiter dictum.
me?
It is the meat of the case.
Is
The
the
ratio,
meat?
the reason or rationale is the ratio decidendi.
It is the very reason
Yes.
for the rule in that case.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
is obiter dictum?
Well, it is just cited a case, but it does not decide the case. It's outside of the...
It's also persuasive, but it is not as significant or as vital as the ratio decidendi, right?
Correct.
So we are taught in law school, when you cite a case, cite the ratio decidendi of that case. Do not cite the obiter dicta of that case. Because obiter dictum is just like saying in plain English, by the way. Di ba?
Yes, yes.
Oh, ngayon, patunayan mo sa akin, ratio decidendi, di ba, ang binigay mo doon sa kaso ng Salvacion, China Banking, and Ejercito, that the prosecution cited as its cases so that the foreign currency deposits of the defendant should be opened. Yan ang desisyon mo eh. Yun ang argumento mo eh. Inutos na yan noon ng Korte Suprema, di sundin natin. But were you citing the ratio decidendi or not?
If I may explain, can I explain?
Please answer
Your
as
Honor.
short as possible because,
Okay.
you know,
We cited that case because that was one of the instances wherein the Supreme Court
hindi mo ni-cite ang
made
ratio decidendi.
an exception.
If you had cited a ratio decidendi, di sasagot ka ngayon sa akin ng oo. May paliwanag ka pa eh. Ngayon sa Salvacion, kamo kanina, judicial president applies when the facts are the same, right? All right, answer this one question. In the case of Salvacion, where the Supreme Court ruled that the foreign currency deposit could be scrutinized, what was the main offense charge?